Like, sub, share, speak. Who you're looking at right now, if you don't already know, is the rapper Lil Nas X, who a couple months back came out of the closet, said he's part of the alphabet community, and really no one cared. I did a video talking about how no one cared. That got so few views because guess what? No one cared. And now, for expressing that sentiment towards Lil Nas X, Kevin Hart's catching a little heat, despite the fact that he was in a pretty bad car accident recently. But yeah, he's catching some heat for being very dismissive. But isn't that the point? I like alphabet folks, cause see, I've been with you. I've been with you since I heard the stories of Stonewall and other saying fights, like people getting beaten up for deciding who they want to love and being physically assaulted. Those are the things that really just that had us on your side. We didn't want that for you, right? Because I'm definitely not a part of the alphabet community. We didn't want that for you. We wanted you to basically we wanted to be normal. We wanted to be normalized. So when Lil Nas came out and no one generally cared, to me, I took that as a sign of okay, cool, it's normalized. No one should care. That's your business. Do you? But it was brought up to him during an interview, and so I want to go into this a little bit and chop it up. So let's get into this. This is from the show The Shop on HBO, of all places, and as I've discussed in plenty of videos on this channel, HBO, they definitely have their weirdo socialist super woke progressive agenda go popping off right now. So let's get to it.
And with all that early success, you felt it was important to make an announcement recently.
He said he was gay, so what?
Yeah, what's the point?
And that's why everybody's feeling some kind of way at Kevin Hart, because he was like, "You said he was gay, so what?" Like it's the exact same thing that really most of us in the hetero community feel. Like we didn't want you being hurt. We wanted you to, whatever you want to love, feel free to go out and love it. It's fine. But for some strange reason, here we are after the marriage has been passed, and more issues are still popping up. There's more claims towards victimization, and that's one of the things that I believe. One of the reasons I believe Lil Nas X really went out and made that announcement was because, oh man, I don't want to sit here, speculate as to what the man may have been thinking, but he was expecting a parade and a party, and he didn't get his parade and party. It's like, what? No.
Why did he feel that was necessary? It's not about who cares. That's actually my question. Why do you feel it was necessary to come out and say that?
It's not that it's being forced. It's just knowing growing up,
growing up, right? This guy was born in 1999. So if you want to, and he's from Atlanta. So if you want to do the math on this, like his more formative years, because I'm not going to sit there and talk about anybody under the age of 13's sexuality. So and I really don't feel comfortable talking about that, but I think it draws to my point that he was 13. If he was born in 1999, he was 13 in 2012. So 2012 is a lot different than even the 90s, even the tail end of the decade you were born in, young man. Whereas particularly when it comes to urban settings. But let's continue.
I'm growing up to hate this shit. I'm not supposed to ever like this.
Good question, because she's like, man, I'm growing up to hate this. But what are you talking about? Because I know where he's going, what he's going for. He's like, oh, all this toxic black masculinity in the hood. But the deal is that by that time, the single mother brigade, the single mother epidemic was in full effect. So and I've actually dated girls who would let their very young sons, run around in high heels and be very feminine. And so thusly, by the time that you was coming up in 2013, 6 years ago, 2012, in that time and space, the notion of homosexuality was already very pervasive throughout our society. Now, Will it ever be like when it comes to heterosexual men such as myself? Will that ever be okay? No, not even. But will you be like beaten up and ridiculed and shamed for it and all this other stuff? Will you get bullied? Of course, but the deal is, and here's the thing about bullying that a lot of people fail to realize, that they'll take whatever insecurity you got. If you are insecure about being tall, they'll go at that. If you are insecure about your teeth, they'll go at that. They will take any insecurity that you have. So if you are of that persuasion, or you're a guy that's extra feminine, then they're gonna notice that, and they're gonna hone in on that, and that is just a part of coming up. And that doesn't merely only apply to urban settings. This goes any and everywhere, man. It's the visa of of life, anywhere that you want to be. The bullies will definitely be able to sniff out weaknesses and flaws and faults in you, or insecurities that you have within yourself. It just, like, if it wasn't one thing, it'd definitely be another. So what he's trying to do is blame it on a culture that in all actuality has turned its back on black masculinity, black patriarchy, the man being the head of the household. And that happened before he was even in his dad's balls. You could go back to movies such as Soul Food and Waiting to Exhale. The media really doing its best to manipulate and maneuver the quote unquote black American into the position where it finds itself now, where we have just an overabundance of, happy and very flamboyant young, what's that thing called? Black boy joy. Like, black boy joy is a thing. So, this is like, there's probably should be somebody checking this, but when you have an overabundance of single mothers who like their sons to be more feminine and more docile, because they are easier to control, and without any strong and legitimate, preferably, like, actually, like, just the best case scenario is the biological father. But real talk, any kind of male figure, any kind of legit biological male figure, then this is what you end up with. And to come from, like, the 2010s basically, and be like, oh my goodness, well, I was taught to hate this. No, you weren't. You're freaking lying.
Hey, what? Homosexuality, gay people. Come on now. Why you gonna? If you're really from the hood,
If you really from the hood, listen here, boy, you ain't from no hood. You was born in 99, fam. You're not from the streets of which, those you emulate come from, Like, it was completely different times. 2012, 2013, that time compared to like 92, 93, 94, bruh, it's not even close. You can be who and whatever. There's so many damn weirdos running around here. Wasn't Kanye bumping? Like, Kanye was out doing his thing, and him, Drake, they the ones that really like softened up hip hop as far as culturally goes. Like, oh yeah, you can wear a button up, and you can sing, and you can rap in the same song like Drake does all the time. And so so to sit here and be like, oh, if you really from the hood, that is frowned upon. No, your mother let you do whatever the heck you want. I'm not familiar with his family upbringing, but what he's saying here is more of a media narrative than the real reality. Because in the real reality, trust me, that like the mothers be encouraging their sons to do things that would lead down such a path. So what are you talking about here, bro?
No, it's not some. So it's like, if for me,
it's a stigma. It was a stigma. Everybody who got a little money, like, what do you think? Kevin Hart live in the hood? You really think anybody on this set live in an urban set? Hell no, they all behind somebody's gate.
The cool dude with the song on top of everything to say this.
Okay, you noticed the. Wait, is that? I want to say Kyle Korver. That's Kevin Love, right? I want to say Kevin Love. I'm not sure. I know he a hooper though. But he's like, oh, you call yourself the cool guy on all the charts. This sounds like something that your publicist told you to say, my dude.
Any other time, like I'm doing this for attention in my eyes. But if you
No. You are. It's not in your eyes. It's in my eyes too. You did this for attention because where's your next hot banger? You know, where's that follow up, man? Like I haven't heard it. Now, admittedly, I do not listen to radio like that because it's the radio. It's a trash fire. But I mean, like your one track was like like you couldn't avoid. It was unavoidable. That Old Town Road joint was completely unavoidable. So where's the follow up Peter that's burning up the streets right now? Because I mean, as far as like video goes, I see you all over the place, right? I see you with Gordon Ramsay. I see you like doing interviews. I see you right here. But like, I mean, the one place I ain't seen you is the booth, my man.
doing this like while you're at the top, you know, it's like for real. And it's like
while you got your 15 minutes and you know what, I will commend him on that. He did come out well actually he was at the tail end of your 15 minutes, bro, because trust me, that clock is ticking away as we speak. But yeah, like I do want to kind of give him a little respect for like, okay, like you're not fully out of the public eye yet and you decided to drop it like that, but the deal is that no one cares. You know, because and the deal is that with you being so young, it like you're trying to push it off as if you've lived this lifetime of, you know, saying being in the closet and all this other nonsense. Well, honestly, my dude, like you 20 now, so you honestly don't have a real feel for yourself. You don't even really know what you like. I mean, let's be real. Like me, by the time I was 20, yeah, I was pretty much you know, guaranteed on the team that on the hetero team, okay? Like I was my roster slot was sealed. I had absolutely no interest in beautiful spirit. Get the fuck out of my face, though. Your beautiful spirit has a penis attached to it. We alright, my dude. Like, we good. But you know, I mean, that's how, like, I mean, these people coming up. But so as far as what you like, I don't even think you know what you like, family. But that's not for me to decide. That's for you to figure out on your own, preferably without any input from me. But the deal is when you keep putting it out there like that, like, oh yeah, well, you know, because it's like, like you get to make yourself a little bit more of a victim. Like, oh yeah, not only am I black, but I'm gay too. I mean, that Old Towns, you thought it was, of course I was talking about riding a penis. Like, come on, man. Like, bruh, take it easy. And honestly, I wasn't even feeling the track like that. Like, it's something, like, I still haven't seen like the video or anything else. But this was sent to me by one of you guys, and you're like, oh yeah, I like your thoughts on it. So here we are with just chopping this up because real talk, Kevin Hart shouldn't be in trouble. Like, they're like, no one should really care that Kevin Hart was like mansplaining to him, like, hey, no one cares. All right, that it. Like, because, and this is the last thing that I want to say to the alphabet people, is that the reason we fought so hard was so that you would shut the fuck up. Okay, we fought so hard so you coming out wouldn't be a big deal, so we can all go about our lives. And yet here we are, still want to make it a big deal. Very strange. Or you do the next logical step and you join the T gang. You know what I mean? which is just on a whole nother level. But real talk, it's an easy way in which to make yourself a victim and seek sympathy and attention and notoriety to an extent. Which is why I personally just don't respect it. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute, they have no interest in hearing from the likes of little old me and speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Was this, like, it was an attention grab? Or you could tell me what Lil Nas X's last what his follow-up single was, because I haven't heard a thing. I've seen him all over the place, like Old Town Road, I'm gonna go and perform Old Town Road. Well, I mean, what's your next track? If you about to be like Adina Howard, my G, seriously, like in more ways than one. That's interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until the next one.